Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Capital Compass, preparing for capital through readiness. My name is Tosh Brooks, and I'm the program coordinator for U.S. small and medium-sized business entrepreneurial programs at the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center. For those of you who may not know, the NASDAQ Center is a nonprofit improving access and knowledge in entrepreneurship to advance economic progress for all. As you'll see in the chat in just a moment, the NASDAQ Center provides programs, resources, and exceptional mentorship to help entrepreneurs fuel prosperity, no matter where their journey begins. Be sure to check out the links and resources shared in the chat. In a moment, I'm going to launch a few polls to step back and take a temperature gauge on how all of you are doing today. We use this information to guide the programs we provide for this global community of entrepreneurs. If there are specific topics or challenges you'd like us to create resources for, feel free to share them in the chat. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes before we get started. First, let us know where you're dialing in from today by dropping it in the chat. We'd love to see where everyone's joining us for our time together today. Second, we'll have a live Q&A at the end of the event, so feel free to submit your questions at any time using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. We'll do our best to get to as many as we can. While you're answering, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the incredible support of our corporate partners. The work we do at the center wouldn't be possible without the generosity and belief of our partners and funders, including NASDAQ, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, KPMG, Walmart, the Asia Innovation Hub, Wilson Sonsini, the Nareet Foundation, KKR, and BPM. We're deeply grateful for their partnership, and we hope you will join us in sharing that appreciation. All right, let's see what our polls are looking at. What's keeping you up at night? Do we have finance, sales, marketing, scaling? We see those answers are rolling in. I have about 62% finance, 60%. Thank you for joining us today to discuss capital. Marketing, about 20% scaling. And then I want to go back to our first poll. How are you feeling? We have 94% of entrepreneurs in this call today are feeling optimistic. We do have some that are surviving and a few anxious. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Cami and Pinar to talk about our Capital Compass Toolkit today.
Thank you, Tash. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited to be here with you today. So over the next 45 minutes, we are going to do something different from a typical webinar. We are not going to be talking at you on landing, but this session is designed for you. And we are here to help you experience what it feels to move from capital curiosity to capital readiness through going through our latest toolkit that is called Capital Compass Toolkit as our guide. So before we get into any of the frameworks, I want to start somewhere different. I want to start with you. Two questions for you today as we are getting ready, getting a little bit more warmed up. Why are you here today? And if you secured funding today, how would you define success for your business? Why are you here today? And if you secured funding today, how would you define success for your business? So take a moment with that. There is no right answer. The reason I'm asking is that capital readiness work is hard to do well unless you are clear about where you would like to go, what you are funding toward. Lenders would like to know that, and you should know it too. So type one sentence into the chat, should you like, and just one. We will come back to this at the end of this webinar. And it will be also helpful for us to think about together how your journey will be shaped after this webinar in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Okay, I will be giving you 1 minute. Again, those questions were, why are you here today? And if you secured funding today, how would you define success for your business? Just one sentence. Success for my business looks like having a steady flow of clients for myself and my agents, serving more people in the community. Wonderful. Raising 4.5 million to launch new health platform. Great. Very succinct, to the point. Wonderful. All right. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I have my eyes on them. We'll get to it at the end of this presentation and then this webinar. It will be setting the path for the next 90 days for us. All right. But look, notice what just happened. You are thinking about where you would like to go. You name the destination. The rest of this session is about building the path to it. Capital readiness is not a personality trait. It's a set of artifacts like documents, your narratives, and forecasts that will be answering the questions lenders are quietly asking and that move you toward the version of success you just described for your business. By the end of today, you will have started drafting 3 of these artifacts specifically: your fit decision, your business impact statement, and your 2-minute story to share with the lender. You will have a mental model for how lenders evaluate your business and your application, and you will have a 30, 60, 90-day path forward. All right, that's what we are going to accomplish today together. Before we go anywhere from here, I want to give you a mental model that will outlast this webinar. Every lender could be CDFI, could be bank, alternative lenders, micro lenders. They're asking 3 questions when they look at your application and your business. Just 3. First, is the business legitimate? The second, can it repay? And the third one, does the request make sense and reduce risk? So most founders prepare like every single detail matters equally. They don't. Every artifact you produce should be in service of one of these 3 questions, should be answering one of these 3 questions. If a document or artifact does not answer one of these, it just becomes noise. And you will be investing your very precious time as a founder, as the business owner, into creating those documents that do not answer these questions. So today we are going to walk through 4 exercises specifically from the Capital Compass Toolkit, and each one of these is mapped to one of these 3 questions. Okay, by the end, you will see how the toolkit structure mirrors how lenders are thinking and actually evaluating your business or your application. Okay, let's see. First, let's do a pulse check. Where are you today with capital? Are you just exploring? Are you capital curious? Are you preparing to apply within the next 6 months? Are you actively in conversations with lenders currently, or are you restarting? There will be a poll popping up. All right, I see some answers coming in. Are you all right? Preparing, just exploring, actively in conversation. Great, great. Do we have anyone who is restarting? Well, congratulations. May 1st of this month. All right. Okay, this is good, great information. So we can cater towards these needs for the remaining of this conversation. All right, restarting. We have someone actively in conversation with the lenders. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. So whatever bucket you are in is perfectly fine. There is no wrong answer, but your bucket determines what progress looks like for you and for your application, for your journey when it comes to seeking funding for your business. So, and then that's how we are going to build your plan, your path for the next 90 days, which will be coming back to it at the end. So now I will be passing the mic to Cami so that she can walk us through the remaining of the exercises. Cami?
Thank you so much, Pinar. Hello, community. So good to see you all engaging inside of the chat, which is great because that's what we're going to be doing in a few moments together. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right. So, the next slide is going to say, it says, is the business legitimate? Is the business legitimate? And so I'm going to pause just for a moment because I'm sure some people are like, Kimmy, what are you talking about? You know, like that. Of course, I have a legitimate business. I have my articles of incorporation. I have my EIN. I have a website. I'm making money. I have customers, and all of that matters. But here's what I want us to understand today. When a lender or a CDFI leader takes a look at your business, legitimacy is not just answered on just the registration. They're thinking about your clarity. So, are you clear? Can you clearly explain what you're funding, why now, and how this capital moves your business forward? And also, how can you pay back what they lend to you? So before we go into anything, please know that today is not about building the perfect spreadsheet. Today is about clarity. It is about us making sure that we're able to share the story behind the business and behind the numbers. Next slide, please. All right, so we want to think about our full structure if a CDFI lender is asking us a few questions. And how many of you have heard some of these questions before? You have sat across from maybe a lender or maybe at a bank, maybe it's someone at CDFI or whoever you're looking to get money. And the first thing they're going to ask you is, all right, well, tell me about your business. What do you do? What are you funding? Why do you need this cash? How many of you have heard that from across the room, wherever you were sitting across the desk, I should say? Me, yes, 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 yes. So here's the deal. Before anything happens, lenders are quietly asking themselves, does this investment make business sense? So that's what these questions mean. It's not just like, oh, we're interested. They are trying to understand, does it make sense to invest in your business? If I put capital into this business, what changes? What constraints are removed? What becomes possible? So let's take a look at this business impact statement. So get out your paper, pencil, and so you can start jotting these things down. But I really would love for you to share and talk to us in the chat. So what we want to think about in 5 sentences, if you are helping someone to understand what you do, who you are, who you serve, what you'll be funding, why it matters, and how that's going to affect cost and how you'll repay. Now, I know I just said a lot in a moment, but let's start with something very quick, simple. What do you do and what you are funding? What is it that you're looking to fund? So go ahead. I'm going to give you a moment to think about that. Write it down, or best of all, if you can go ahead and put it in the chat. These few, you're across the desk. If you want to say, keep saying across the table, maybe across the table from a lender, and they're asking you that question. Tell me about who you are and what is it that you need? What are you hoping to fund? What are you going to tell them? Put it in the chat for us. I see the wheels turning from behind behind the computer. Okay, I am hoping to fund my beauty supply store. Wellness experience to improve sustainable self-care. Okay. Funding acquisition. I'm hoping to fund a research lab. Okay. So you all are clear about what you need, right? So you're like, it sounds like y'all, most of you all are there. Um, the next question is why it matters. So why does this matter? By me doing this, whatever it is that you're hoping to do, what is it going to solve? What is it going to solve? So go ahead and put that there. What is it going to solve? What is it going to solve? Growth, okay. Hoping to provide parents with support to ensure their children have the opportunity to academically be successful, less strain on healthcare and healing trauma, revenue, and people. Okay. Solve the question around building real sustainable support. Okay. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about revenue, cash, cost, but just if you were to think about for a moment, like, okay, what is the impact like of, how it affects the cash? This money, what is it going to allow you, how it's going to allow you to funnel your funds, for an example, how is this going to be able to allow you to move, change the way that take money from one area to another area of your business? What would that look like for you? Improve the cost for your business. What's going to happen? How is it going to ease the pressure, I should say? Okay. So investing into lead generation and marketing, so it's directly produce clothing. Okay. Afford expertise needed. Okay. Okay, and the last one is how will you repay? And now, right now, before we go into, we're gonna talk about more of this more detail as well. But when someone says, "How are you going to repay?" What is your idea? What do you think in this moment? How would you repay? Quarterly. Okay. All right, so looking at the chat, I'm seeing that some of us are, you want this money because this is going to allow you the opportunity to learn something new. It's going to allow you an opportunity to grow your business or to maybe even launch your business that you're looking for. It looks like some of us are looking to be able to provide impact within our community by being able to have this new funds. It looks like be able to bring more folks inside. So maybe some type of human capital I see. So staffing is going to be able to help a little bit more there. Um, what else do I see here? Okay, it's going to help you to invest into bringing more folks to your business. Okay, all right. And I also see like repayment will come at the end. So I'm seeing repayment is a little bit light, but we're going to talk more about that in a minute. All right, so next slide, please. So let's take a look at an example. Because I'm sure y'all are like, okay, I hear you, Kimmy. What's an example? So I want you to hear about this strong impact statement, and I would love to see what you all think about this. So here we go. We are a community catering business serving corporate clients in downtown Phoenix. We are funding a $12,000 commercial mixer and walk-in cooler. This solves the constraint that we are currently turning away 3 to 5 orders per week because our home kitchen capacity is capped. With this equipment, we forecast a 40% increase in monthly revenue based on our existing wait list. Repayment will come from contracting catering services we've already have underwritten agreement with. with a mark, I'm sorry, with a margin cushion of 2,400 per month our debt service. So, all right, let's break this down for a moment. What you do. So this says the first line, it takes care of that. We are a community catering business serving corporate clients in downtown Phoenix. What are you funding? We are funding a 12,000 commercial mixer and walk-in cooler. Notice that they are very specific of what they want. Yes, they are very specific. It's not, it's not anything that's like, okay, this is what I'm hoping to do. This is not a vision statement. We want to be very specific in what is the item, equipment, or activity that we would like for this to be funded. Next, this solves, so the next one is why this matters. So what is it solving? What is the constraint that it's solving? So when they get this $12,000 commercial mixer, then it says that they're currently turning away 3 to 5 orders per week because they are at capacity. They're capped. And so with this equipment, that's going to be able to help them so that they can take in those orders that they are missing out on. All right. How is this affecting cash? With this equipment, we forecast a 40% increase in monthly revenue based on our existing wait list. So now we are making set amount of money. With this new problem that will be solved with this new commercial mixer, I'm now going to be able to bring in a 40% increase in the amount of money that I originally was making in my business. So that is a nice dovetail into repayment. So now the lender does not even have to worry about, can I repayment? You've already seen that this is going to result in a 40% increase. So now I can say here that repayment will come from contracted catering revenue. We already have a written agreement with a margin cushion of 2,400 per month above our debt services. What do you all think? Would you fund this individual if you were behind the desk as the lender? Yes. Anyone have questions? Would you fund them? Absolutely. It is clear. Yes. The funding also allows me to be able to, okay. Fund. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So let's move on to the next part. What we all want to talk about. Can it repay? So let's go dive a little bit more deeper in repayment. Next slide, please. All right. So a lender does not want to hear, I hope I can pay it back. This is how I think I'll be able to pay it back. They want to hear, I know how I can pay this back. I know what activity inside of my business supports repayment. And so it's a very different posture, right? So repayment should be connected to how your business actually makes money. So tying it very specifically to something in your business that is very profitable. It doesn't have to be the item that you are going to be bringing in more money. It may be some other place where you are making money. And remember, like on the last example, they're showing that this gap is going to bring in more funds. It's going to bring in more revenue. So that is going to stabilize. And maybe there's another place in your business that where it can help. You don't see the slides? Does everyone see the slides? One person said they don't see the slides. It might just be us. Okay, everyone sees the slides. Okay, great. Okay. All right, well, our team will help in the background. All right. So can it be repaid? So maybe for you it is yes. You have some more signed contracts. You have recurrent clients. You have seasonal demand. You have some purchase orders that are going on. So ask yourself, what part of the business makes sense for you to pay this loan back? So if you were to think of your business, think about all of your cash flow. Let me know in the chat. Do you know in this moment where it makes sense to pay your business back. Pay this loan back through your business. If you have ideas, let us know in the chat. Okay, directly from commissions. Okay, love it. Monthly service fees. So this is ongoing, continuous money, very nice, that is coming into to your business. That's great. All right. That is showing your stability with your business and stability with the revenue that you have coming in. Next slide, please. All right. So now let's take a look about on our cash flow. So again, do not stress about getting every number right. That is not our goal today. So you want to just make sure that you're just making an educated guess. Use estimates as placeholders for now. So I want you to go through this and again, take out a piece of paper and put it on there. And if you want to share in the chat, happy to see that. But let's go to each of these 7 steps that is going to help you build a forecast, a credible forecast that you will be able to share with a lender. So the first says monthly sales. Think about your monthly sales and think about a conservative estimate of this. Not your best month, but if you were to be real about how much money is coming inside of your business, what would that be? What would that number, dollar amount be? Let's give you a moment to think about that. All right. Thanks for sharing. 0 to 8,000. Okay. 0 to 8,000. Got it. And I say, I joke, but if you were to think about, yes, someone put it in the chat. If you could be kind of very specific with that. So yes, you may have a 0 month. Yes, you may have an 8,000 month, but let's think about on average, what number would you give that? Because yes, you do want to be as specific as possible with this. All right. Okay. That's the number you want to go with. All right. So next, number 2, variable cost. So now let's think about the costs that grow as your sales grow. So whether it's inventory, whether it is buying materials, whatever that is, that regardless of how many, if you grow, I should say, if you add more, if you're selling more, the more you do, the more of what that you need to continue to buy. If your sales double tomorrow, what expenses are going to double or grow as well? What does that look like for you? So think about that number. Remember, estimate number, specific, but estimate. We don't want a range. Go ahead and put that in there for that. So what would be, anyone want to share their variable costs? Okay. Office supplies, yes, transportation costs, gas, exactly. All of those would be variable costs. So if you're having to, you know, gain more clients or do more packages, to sell more packaging. Yes, all of those things that you need, that's going to go up as well. All right. Number three, fixed monthly cost. So now let's think about those that are going to be included regardless of whether or not we are making money or not. Whether we have, sell 1 unit or 100 units, we still have to make these costs. So that's thinking about rent or insurance, subscription software, those types of things. Yes, 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 that's right. All right, let's average that for a moment. All right. Next, payroll. So now, when we think about this, we want to be honest in this conversation because one of the works that we did here at the center was share some of a body of the work we learned that founders who pay themselves early enough, as soon as possible in their business, they are much more successful. So as I say that, I also kind of ask you, are you paying yourself in your business? And hopefully your answer is yes, or I will very soon. But paying yourself is a key indicator for your success as a founder. So now that I've said that, what does your payroll look like? And that is owner pay as well as team support pay. What does that look like? I see someone says, yes, I'm paying myself. All right. Number five, add loan payment estimate. So now we may not know this, so you could just use a placeholder, of what that could be, but you would just take your best guess for that. As you're doing research on the CDFI, you could take a look and see what their payment payback estimate is. Number six, calculate ending cash. So what are your low cash months? So after you have paid everything off, what are you left with? That's what you want to think about. What are you left with at the very end? Also think about, where do you see, dips? In what moments do you see dips, or where do you see low cash months? So these are things you want to also think about as you're thinking about your ending cash at the end of the month. And number seven is, what are the assumptions that must hold true? So let's think about this for a minute. We just went through 1 through 6, and we put a lot of placeholders in there. But as you're putting these placeholders in there are a few assumptions that we are also making in this. So for an example, it could be, we are assuming that all of our clients are going to renew on client time. I saw we said subscription services as well. So we're assuming that everyone that's on subscription, their credit card is going to go through, their subscription service is going to go through each and every single month. We may be assuming that our inventory is going to come in on schedule, or that we are going to get that bump for our seasonal demand. So take a moment to think about what assumptions, and I would love for you to put that in the chat. What assumptions are you holding on to through this? that business will continue to grow. Hmm. Any other thoughts? Anyone else has any assumptions they're holding true for this? New market. Yes. You're assuming that you'd move into a new market? All right. Steady inflation. That's a good one. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Oh, wait, we're assuming that saving our large customers, saving billions of dollars per year and helping them to retain insured will keep them satisfied. That's good. And these are really great insights that you are pulling from the numbers that you're bringing. This is awesome. Assuming that we will scale by the time frame we're working towards. Yes. All right, so let's go to the next one. Next slide, please. All right, so now you have went through the 7 steps. We have got some just quick jotted estimates down there. So let's just put down 3 inputs to see what we're coming into. So we have the first is your net cash available. So what is a conservative monthly net cash that after all of your essential expenses are paid that you have available? So go ahead and put an estimate of that number. So that's before any new loan, before anything at all. What is that of cash, net cash available? Next, what is the monthly cushion you would like to maintain? So that is the money that will not go to any debt services. That is your monthly amount that you want to make sure that you will continue to have. And then when you subtract that, that will give your safe loan payment. And so this is the answer of what can I actually afford? This is the number as you're sitting across from that said lender that you should have as they're having. Remember I talked about what they're thinking? Like, okay, this is can they afford? This is also your answer of, okay, this is the amount that I am able to afford as we're inside of these conversations. All right. So at this time, I'm going to pass it for the next segment to Pinar.
Great work, everyone. We have been steady. We did not lose anyone, which is wonderful. You have been doing great work, putting your numbers down, your assumptions down, where you would like to go next. So let's talk about the third underwriter question, which is whether the request makes sense and reduces the risk. This question is rarely answered by a document or an artifact. It's answered rather in a conversation, usually like 5 to 30-minute intake talk with the lender. And then This will be forming the first impression of you, your business, your application from that lender's perspective. So you guessed it right. We are going to prepare for that. So Capital Compass calls this the 2-minute business story. It's our exercise 17 in the toolkit. And I know I saw a couple of questions about the slide deck. You can just download the toolkit and you will have all this information as well as our prompts that Kemia and I have been using throughout this presentation in a more detailed and guided ways. So you're not losing anything. The session is also being recorded. You can always get back to it and have access to it anytime you like, right? So let's talk about the 6-part process that we will be going through. Once you have it written, you can compress it to 2 minutes spoken or expand it into your application narrative if you like to. It's the same content, only the delivery changes, right? So the first one is what we do as a business and who your customers are. Second piece, the problem, what your customers are struggling with. The third is the proof, what documents that you can provide to make your case, what you're asking for and why you're asking for that amount. The fourth step will be the plan, what funding will be enabling. Again, we are breaking down that Phoenix business example, right? We saw that on the screen. And the fifth one is the repayment, how you will be repaying this debt. What will be the cash flow source and what will be the cushion, the last exercise that we worked together. And the final step is the close. Look at that part 6, the close part. The outcome for your business and your community. This is the second place your opening answer shows up today. The success you defined at the start of this session, that is your part 6. That is your part 6. This isn't coincidence. Okay, the story arc lenders actually mirrors the arc you live as a founder for your business, what you would like to do in life as the founder of your business, as the CEO of your business, how you would like to create impact in your communities as well. So you have a vision of what success looks like for you, for your business, for your community, and you have evidence you can get there. And the loan is the bridge between the two. It's a tool that will help you, that will enable you to get there. And part 6 closes this loop. Don't bury it. Lenders remember the close. Lenders always remember the close. Okay. So I'm going to share an example, a work example here. I will be sharing in the chat as well. So let's take a look at how the Phoenix business will be pitching this idea in a very succinct way, right? So we are a community catering business serving corporate clients in downtown Phoenix. Our customers struggle to find reliable, locally sourced catering for events of 25 to 100 people. We have traction shown by 18 repeat corporate accounts and 6-week waitlist. With funding, we will buy a commercial mixer and a walk-in cooler that lets us accept the orders we currently turn away. We will repay through contracted catering revenue, and our forecast shows a 2,400 monthly cushion above the debt service. The outcome will be steady year-round revenue for the business and 3 new local hires for the community. All right, notice what that story did. All the things that you have been putting together today, in about 90 seconds, it answered all 3 underwriter questions that we were trying to answer today. Okay, legitimacy, real customers, real wait list. Repayment, contracted revenue, specific cushion, all in that statement. Risk reduction, equipment that solves a constraint they are already have demand for. And the close, 3 new local hires connects to a vision of success the founder defined that any community lender will be leaning toward. All right. Do you see the clear statement, clear narrative that is coming through with this 2-minute script? Let's see your reactions. Right? If you see that in the chat, let's just take a quick minute or two, draft just 2 parts of this. Draft just 2 parts of your story for your business application. What we do and the proof. Don't worry too much about the others at the moment. Those will be coming from the work that you've already done throughout this session and in the toolkit after this session. Just try to answer again. We are trying to create a documentation, a pathway for you after this session, what you do in your business and the proof. All right, I'll be giving you 2 minutes. Should you like, you can post that into the chat. I think it's really, really important to see each other's examples that just prompts other ideas, other thought processes in our minds as well. All right. Thank you for sharing. Perfect. Anyone else? What do you do and the proof? All right, keep them coming, keep them coming. Put it on your piece of paper. Greatness. Thanks so much. Let's take a quick pause again. Looking at your readiness today, which is your single biggest gap? Okay, be honest with yourself. Is it the documentation, bank statements, tax returns, bookkeeping organization? Is it your cash flow clarity? Maybe you cannot yet model your repayment story credibly. Is it the credit? Could be personal or business credit issues that you may need to address before going and talking with a lender. Is it compliance, like licenses, permits, registrations? Maybe they are not yet completed. I know we have a very young business in the conversation today. May 1st was the launch day of the business. So this could be one of the things that we should be thinking about. Is it the traction evidence? Maybe you haven't documented your proof of demand yet. And finally, maybe it's the lender narrative. Maybe your story is not sharp or polished yet. Which one you would like to focus on working in the next 90 days? All right, great. Cash flow clarity. That's leading credit, personal or credit, business credit issues, right? Traction evidence. Yeah, yes. Great work, great work. Let's keep them coming. Couple more answers. All right, maybe we can share the results. All right, like we are seeing cash flow clarity. Yes, that's what we wanted to focus a little bit more heavily today. I hope the exercises started helping you think about this, how you would like to structure the next steps, personal or business credit issues to address. Perfect. The toolkit has some recommendations, some next steps for you to take the initial steps towards resolving some of them. Think about the timing, how you would like to allow or invest some time into resolving these issues or addressing through your narrative as well. So I hope you will see that what we have been discussing today in a limited time is actually reflecting the structure in the toolkit and then help you dig a little bit deeper. Right? Okay, let's see. Whether you just selected whatever you just selected, that's where your 30, 60, 90-day plan starts, right? The toolkit gives you the full 30, 60, 90-day structure in section 11. And the principle is very simple. The goal is not the perfection. The goal is not the perfection. The goal is to become lendable faster by addressing the highest impact gap first. Okay, for the next 30 days, finalize use of funds. Build version 1 of your cash flow. Set up a data room. Address your top gap that you just identified. In the next 60 days, improve your financial accuracy. Add traction evidence. Complete compliance items if you are just starting building your business. Refine your lender narrative. And in the next 90 days, our goal is to produce your loan ready packet, run a mock lender conversation, and apply or schedule an intake meetings. That's what we are going to do together, all right? In the next 90 days, we will be preparing to have that critical conversation with the lender, and we will get lendable faster. Right? As we are closing today, I want to bring us back to where we started. At the very beginning, I asked you how you would define success if you secured funding today. You typed your answers in the chat. Some of you said things like raising 4.5 million to launch new health platform, consistent clients, steady clientele, revenue growth and team growth, and carrying a validation study to launch a legal platform, steady flow of income, repeat customers and new ones, keeping the customers that you have. All of them are perfect. You have a very clear path in mind. Just need to put all these things together to create your narrative with the lender, right? So let's say the answer is not a side note, right? Your answers are not a side note. The answer that you provided, that answer is the entire reason any of this work matters. The business impact statement we drafted, its job is to make your definition of success visible to a lender. The cash flow forecast, its job is to show your definition of success is fundable. The 2-minute story, its job is to make a lender care about your definition of success in the first 90 seconds of the conversation so that they will remember you and your application. Okay, you came in today with capital curiosity. You wanted to learn more about the options, alternatives out there. You are leaving with 3 drafted artifacts: a working mental model, 30, 60, 90-day path, and most importantly, a clearer line between what you want for your business and what you need to do to get there. Right? The right capital at the right time with the right preparation changes a business, changes a community, keep you in the business longer, and keep working throughout the toolkit. We are rooting for you. We are always here. Please do reach out if you have any questions, if you would like to continue the conversation. We will be hosting these sessions in the upcoming months as well. We would love to see you. All right. I'll be passing the mic to Tash to close us out. And thank you so much, the team. Cami, thank you so much for hosting the session with me. Tash.
Thank you, Pinar and Cami, for a phenomenal session today, teaching us about capital and the Capital Compass Toolkit. And thank you all so much for taking the time to join the community and share your insights. On behalf of the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center and everyone in attendance today, we sincerely thank you for joining us. We would love for you to join us for our upcoming webinars as well. You can view the upcoming events by using the link in the chat. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We look forward to welcoming you back online soon.